Hi everyone, welcome back to another video with Road to A Plus team, and I'm Rotaractor Yashoda Datsani, and I will be doing the seventh lesson that comes under grade 11 English pupils book. So it is simple living. So going ahead with the uh, sorry with the first activity, which is a speaking and writing activity. So look at the following pictures and write the instructions for each picture and follow the example given. So the first example is that they have mentioned some junk food in the picture and a no sign. So that means not to eat like that much of junk food. And the B, it's a fan, I would say. So maybe they are like trying to say is to switch off the fans before you leave the meeting or before you leave that place. And the C means it shows a tap with a running water, and I would say to close the tap, and maybe it can be like tell that where this is where people drink water. So, and the C and the D, uh, we see a man like, doing the gardening purpose. So I say do not like stop in the step on the lawn and stuff. So E shows a bulb, which is a glowing bulb, and people are like around that. So that means uh, not to waste electricity, but not to waste electricity, but to save. So moving on to the second activity, and it's also a listening activity, which I don't have the reading part with myself. So going ahead with the activity 3, that means a writing activity, which is write a paragraph on what you and your family did last weekend. So, so my family and I went. I would say my family and I went on a trip, to to somewhere. It can be like Candy. I would say Candy. Okay, my family and I went on a trip to Candy to worship. I would say Temple of the Tooth Relic, and also we stayed in a hotel on Saturday night. And then again, when we were coming back to Colombo, we stopped at the Peradine Botanical Garden as well. And most importantly, we had somewhat quality family time, I would say. Um, so yeah, so they had the quality family time. They had food together. They were uh, they were enjoying together. They went to the places together. So that's why. And there's another one to act out. All right. So, rush maker. Here I got a bunch of grapes to share with you. So Anuradha says, thanks. Rashmika again says, you seem worried. Is anything wrong? So Anuradha says, it is not always good to be the youngest in a family. Yes. Why is that? Because I always get hand-me-downs and my brother has used. Well, okay. Rashmika. So what's wrong with that, Anuradha? I don't get anything new. Rashmika says, don't say that, Anuradha. Our parents always try to give us the best. And Anuradha says, yes, it is true for my brother, but not for me. I have used his cricket gear and remember the pile of storybooks I have? I got them from my brother. Okay, Rashmi says, oh really? But your collection of books is the best among ours. Okay, and though it's bad, that's the best collection they had. And Anuradha again says, but they were passed down to me after my brother used them. Rashmika, come on, my friend, don't worry. Even I use my brother's box of mathematical instruments and his old school bag. So you see, yeah. And Anuradha, no Rashmika, I don't like it. I am so upset. Rashmika says, hey, be cool. Come, I'll show you some interesting article. Anuradha says, all right. And from form collective nouns using the words in the two boxes. So in these two boxes, there are collective nouns. So we can make out of it. And first I would go for which is a bunch of flowers, I would say, yeah. And there's a flock of birds, and a herd of elephants, a pack of wolves, a swarm of bees, a team of players, a pile of um, newspapers, and a board of directors, a bundle of sticks. Yeah, so we're done, and we moving on to the activity 6. So activity 6 also with some collective nouns, which is regarding to people, animal, and other categories. And for the people one, we have a group of men, a team of players, a gang of thieves, a panel of judges, I would say, and a regiment of, I would say, soldiers. Uh, and for the animal one, we got a flock of birds, a hive of bees, a pack of wolves, a herd of cattle, maybe. And for the other category, we have a stack of wood, a fleet of ships, a group of uh, musicians, I would say, a bunch of grapes. So moving on to the activity 7, which is also a writing activity, and it is also to complete the collective nouns. So we got a bouquet of flowers, we can say, a sheaf of, I would say, wheat, wheat or corn maybe, and a band of musicians and a team of players, a string of uh, horses, yeah, three bouquets of flowers, yeah, why not flowers, and sheaves of corn, yeah, the bands of musicians, I would say. So, moving on to the 8th activity, which is a reading one, read and answer. Given below is an article shown to Anuradha by Rashmika. So we're going to read this and find the answers to the questions. Are there questions? Yes, there are. So, yeah. When we study the history of the world, we can see that many religious leaders, political leaders, and social activists lived simple lives as minimalists. This quality attracted many disciples of followers around the world. Mahatma Gandhi is considered as the father of nation by the Indians. He was an inspiring philosopher and a leader who led a simple life. Gandhi was actually born into an affluent family, had a very privileged upbringing. Gandhi accumulated little at the amount he needed to eat, uh, dressed simply, and led a simple, stress free life. He was a man who believed in being non possessive and didn't even own a house. When Gandhi died, he had less than 10 personal possessions, including a watch, a pair of spectacles, a pair of sandals, and his eating bowl. Although some considered him to have died as a pauper, he influenced the lives of many. Even today, his way of life continues to inspire many around the world, many others around the world. However, at present, it is believed to be difficult to minimize the living conditions uh, to such an extent. One must learn to use, buy, or do things that they really ought to do rather than doing them just because the others do. Life becomes easy when one learns to reuse, recycle, and give things away. Self-sufficiency is also is a good trait of a person who leads a simple life. If one can manage his own work, such as painting one's room, clearing the garden, or mending a shoe, and etc., it makes life easier in condition if one is in the habit of growing fruits and vegetables for one's own consumption. That person saves a lot of money for a worthy cause. A person who leads a simple life is stress-free and has the opportunity to live a life that is inspired or inspiring. So we have questions here, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. State whether the following are true or false according to the text. So minimalists have a simple life. Yes, yeah. So minimalists mean they do consume in a way of minimum of everything. Like they consume a little, they do have like resource a little, so likewise. So Mahatma Gandhi was born into a poor family. No, right? I saw a text with the that he was in a privileged family. So Gandhi had only 10 things of his own when he died. No, that said less than 10 things of his own. So self-sufficiency is a trait of simple life. Yes, it is. And the first one is true here, and the second one is false here, and the third one also false here, and the fourth one is true. And find similar words or phrases from the text for the following. Wealthy, it says, I would say privileged, yeah, and collected, self-possessed. It was the I can as I can remember. And gains, it is like obtaining and achieving, and yeah, sort of meaning it gives. And find the opposites for the following. Uh, for easy, we can say it's difficult, and for complex, we can say it's simple, and for maximize, we can say minimize, and to give a suitable title for the text, I would say uh, lessons by Mahatma Gandhi, because all you can get from his life story is lessons, I would say. Lessons to make your life a better one. And yeah, so moving on to the fifth section, what are the good practices of a simple lifestyle? So it says to, so it says in the description, and write a speech on the value of leading a simple life and present it to the class. So that's a homework, guys. Okay, so I'm kidding. So write a speech on the value of leading a simple life. So read like thoroughly this article and get what to be get into your head, and make it like a short and an interesting one, I would say. And yeah, come up with a speech. And moving on to the activity 9, which is also a reading and a writing activity. Read aloud the following text and do activities that follow. The last wishes of Alexander the Great. The name of Alexander the Great still lives in the legends of the East, and traces of his swift conquest are still stamped upon the fabric of Western Asia. His name is a famous conqueror and as the king of Macedonia. Alexander the Great was born in the Pella region of Macedonia on July 20th, 356 before Christ, to King Philip, the second King Philip of Macedonia and Queen Olympia. This young, dark-eyed, and curly-haired prince was tutored by the great philosopher Aristotle. Alexander the Great conquered half the world in 13 years. This ruler swept aside the mighty armies of Persian Empire and established his rule as far as Punjab. And Alexander the Great was far more than a general and a leader of armies. His colossal victories are followed by sympathetic understanding and administration, and had won the loyalty of the defeated. Alexander, after conquering many kingdoms, was returning home. On the way, he fell ill, knowing that his death was nearing, and he longed to see his mother's face. However, he realized that his sinking health would not permit him to reach his mother as he was far from his homeland. Alexander the Great realized that all his wealth and his conquests, his great army, his sharp sword, would not help him to save his life. So he called his generals and said, I will depart from this world soon. I have three wishes, please carry them on without fear. With tears flowing down their cheeks, the generals agreed to abide by their king's last wishes. So the first one is, my first desire is that, said Alexander, my physicians also, alone must carry my coffin. And the second one is, after a pause, he continued, uh, secondly, I desire that when my coffin is being carried to the grave, the path leading to the graveyard be strewn with gold, silver, and precious stones which I have collected in my treasury. And the third one, the king felt exhausted. After saying this, he took a minute rest and continued. My third and the last wish is that both my hands be kept dangling out of my coffin, and all who were around were in tears, but there were none who was brave enough to inquire the reasons for the wishes except for the favorite general. As a reply, this great ruler said, I would like the world to know of the three lessons I have just learned. I was my I want my physicians to carry my coffin because people should realize that no doctor on this earth can really cure anybody. They are powerless and cannot save a person from the clutches of death. So let not people take life for granted. The second wish of strewing gold, silver, and the other riches on the path to the graveyard is to tell people that not even a fraction of gold will come with me. I spent I spent all my life in greed for power, earning riches, but I cannot take anything with me. Let people realize that is a sheer waste of time to chase wealth. About my third wish of having my hands dangling out of the coffin, I wish people to know that I came empty-handed into this world, and empty-handed I go out of this world. So, leaving these three important lessons, this great conqueror let the death conquer him. And with that, we're gonna complete the following chart. So, his birth year was 356 before Christ. It was before Christ, yeah. And his mother was Queen Olympia, and his father was second King Philip, as I can remember. So the country that he ruled was Macedonia, as I can say, as I can remember. So the conquered area was half of the world. Yeah, I yeah I would yeah. So he had three wishes, and yeah, the three wishes should be in these three boxes. So find synonyms for the following from the text. The medical practitioner is a physician. The box in which the dead body is placed or buried or cremated is the coffin. Hanging, we can use the dangling word. A person who takes possession of land by force. Uh, I so it was um there was a word empire empire yeah, funds of the government, it is the treasury, and a vice person who is specialized at philosophy is a philosopher. So pronounce the following words, going for the first one to the end: philosopher, physician, conqueror, practitioner, coffin, sympathy, physics, treasury, and cure. Answer the following. Answer the following. So, do you consider King Alexander the Great as a great king, and why? I do consider Alexander the Great as a great king, because though he was, he was going with his armies and stuff, at the end also at last at the end he realized that all of this is like nothing when we are not like carrying anything, but we have gained so far in our whole life. So yeah, uh, that's what the lesson we can learn from his story. So moving on to the activity 10, it is also to act this out. So Manjit says, "Hey Kamidu, why are you in a bad mood?" So the Kavin says, "Today I have to do everything all by myself." Sorry. Riaz says, "Why is that?" Kavin says again, "Both my mother and father left home early in the morning." So Manjit says, "Wait, today is Sunday. Do they go to work during the weekend too?" Kavita says, no, they had to go to see my grandfather. Riya says, what's wrong with him? Kamitu says he had a fall. It happened last night. And Manjita says, oh, I'm so sorry. And Kavindu says, I have to take care of everything at home. And Riya says, don't worry, my friend, we'll help you. And Kamindu again says there will be some visitors too. So that's gonna be a problem for Kamindu. And Manjit says, so we'll get together and arrange something for them. Priya says, yes, why not? And Kamindu says, give me 5 minutes, I'll make tea for you. Manjit says, no thanks, we had some tea, let's prepare something for the visitors. So um, there's a speaking test over here. Answer the questions orally. Why was Hamidu in a bad mood? Who visited him? What had happened to Hamidu's grandfather? Did Hamidu prepare tea for his friends? And why? What were they going to do next? So comment down below what are the answers that you think. And yeah, we'll make sure to reply you back. Yeah. So moving on with the next activity, activity 12. Um, Read the text aloud, paying special attention to the highlighted phrases. Okay. One evening, Kamidu's parents received a call from his aunt. It was bad news. Kamidu's grandfather had a fall, and his aunt had taken him to the doctor, and the doctor had prescribed a cast. Camelo's parents decided to visit him. Camelo and his sister agreed to stay at home. The following morning, when the children got up, their parents had left for the hospital. Camelo, the eldest, who had to take care of his little sister. When the sister got up, Camelo had already got up and had prepared their bed tea. His had put his sisters into the flask. When Camilo's friends arrived, he had already dusted the furniture and had swept the house. Camilo's friend had come to invite him to a party, but they all decided to stay with Camilo until his parents came home. So there's a revision point here, which is about past perfect tense. So past, as you can see, like the ones that have highlighted in this text are some of the phrases that can be used for past perfect tense. So there are two examples here. Kamilu's parents left home at 5 o'clock. Kamilu got up at 6 o'clock. And when Kamilu got up, his parents had left home. So yeah, we'll move on to the activity 13, which is about the revision point here, and construct sentences using the words in the bracket. So Kavindu's parents were not at home when Manjita and Riaz arrived. They had already left. That's what we can say. And for the second one, Kavindu invited his friends for tea, uh, but they had tea, but they had tea already at Manjita's place. And the third one is Kavindu wanted to send a book to his grandfather, but his parents had left the house, I would say, and he got up, when we had when he had got up, and Kavindu's sister wanted to help his brother, uh, but but he had done everything when she got up. When Kavindu's parents returned home, Kavindu and his friends had already prepared the dinner for them. And another revision point here about reported speech. I think y'all have learned it earlier in grade 9 or 10. So there's a revision point here, and yeah, we'll do the activity 14, which is about the revision point on reported speech. Report what Kavindu said to his friends. Okay, Kavindu, first I'll go with one by one. Kavindu said that he dusted. Kavindu said that he dusted the furniture, and the second one, Kavindu said that his sister got off. Sister had got off. Yeah. So Kavindu said that his mother had left a note for him, and Kavindu said that he had prepared tea for her. Kavindu said that his parents had gone to see his grandfather. So yeah, we're moving on to the next one. Report what Kavindu's friend asked from him. Manjit and Kavindu, why he had called him. The first one is Manjit and Kavindu asked why he had called him. And Manjit and Kavindu asked why had they left so early. And the other one is why uh, did they stayed at home? Why did they stay at home? And why did they do everything alone? Why did he do everything alone? Yeah. So moving on to the activity 15, which is a vocabulary one. The following pictures show different actions. Copy the list of the verbs in your writing book and match them with the given pictures. Write the name of the picture against the verb. So moving on with these pictures, the first one is, I think, the first one is it's boiling, and the second one is sifting. The third one is uh, stirring, and the this one is grinding and scraping coconut and chopping. So yeah, since I can't like take this the nouns and these pictures to a same page, I will go with like randomly. So this one is chopping the onions, this one is squeezing the lime, and this one is peeling, and this one is beating, and this one is mixing. So yeah, and this one is cutting. And mother calls home, and the mother is asking, "Hello, son." Candy says, "Hello, mother. How's grandfather?" And the mother says, "He's all right now, but we'll get home. We'll get late to come." Hamindu says, "Oh, I see." So the mother is telling, "I was worried about you and your sister." And Kavita says, "We are fine. My friends are here. We've been cooking." Mother says, "Oh, son, that's great." Kavita says, "We have already cooked rice and make a coconut sambar." And mother says, "You can make a dal curry too." So Kavindu asks, "Can you quickly give us the instructions? I'll put the phone on the speaker." And mother says, "That's good." So Kavindu asks, "Tell us, mother." And the mother starts to say, "All right, here we go. First, scrape the coconut and extract the milk. And then it's a group work, guys. So discuss and continue the list of instructions given by Kamidu's mother to prepare a dal curry." So I'm not gonna, I would say, give the instructions. Okay, so yeah, will if you know the instructions on how to make a dal curry, hit a comment down below, and we'll put a like and we'll put a comment on that. So yeah, we'll see if there's any inspiring cooking people here. Okay, so moving on to the activity 17. Refer to the pictures given above on actions related to cooking and complete the table below. That is also something related to what you have to write in here. So I will leave that to you. And moving on to the activity 18, which is the last activity of this topic. And four pupils who obtained best result at an examination got the opportunity to go on a wonderful journey, a journey to simplicity. So there's a board saying, "Welcome to simplicity. Enjoy the journey." Following notices were displayed at the entrance: eco-friendly vehicles only, nature lovers are welcomed, no polythene, no excessive stuff. And imagine that you are one of the pupils who went on the journey and built up a story. Give an interesting start and an ending to the story. Include the followings also. What did you bring with you? So since you can't bring their polythene, you have to like use cloth bags. I would say the bags that were made of cloth, yeah, the from the clothes and stuff, and not from a cloth, but from a clothing. And there are some biodegradable bags as well, so you can use that, and a reusable bag maybe. And there's what did you see and did there. So since you can't uh, behave or act in a way of destructive with the environment, you may explore around the area and get pictures done. And yeah, so, and the other one is people, animals, special creatures that you meet. So of course you will meet tour guides, and the animals you will meet some rabbits, some deers, yeah, sort of creatures. And maybe there may be reptiles too, since since it's a uh, yeah, since it's a some sort of a I would say, yeah, it's kind of look like a forest, yeah, I would say. And what did you feel? So after all of those, the feeling that you get after exploring the surrounding, it will be like, hoping to, come back soon again. That sort of a feeling that you will get. So I'm gonna stop from here. And if you have any questions about this lesson, seventh lesson that comes in your grade 11 English textbook, please drop a comment down below, and we'll try to get a contact with you, and we'll solve it as possible as soon as we can. And yeah, and the questions that I asked, if you know the answers and if you can give a recommendation, please do hit a comment below. And yeah, that will be it for this week. And yeah, we'll see you in another video. So goodbye, guys. Stay safe and learn hard. And goodbye. And I'm Rotaract Yashoda Tatsani from Road to A+ team. Thank you so much.